Today we're gonna make a creamy Parmesan ranch chicken, and the first thing you're gonna do is take a super thin chicken breast. I just beat mine with a hammer and got it very thin, but you could also just slice it in half widthwise. And you're gonna coat your chicken in some egg wash, like this. And then some grated Parmesan, which I put some seasonings in here already. So very thin chicken breast, coat it in Parmesan, and then air fry it at 400 for about 15 minutes. If it's too thick, you might end up having to air fry it for 20, but this should be fine. All right, once you get that, we're going to make a sauce in the skillet. So let me get these gloves out of the way. Let me put this in, like I said, 400 for about 15, 20 if it's thick. I should probably wipe this off. There's like chicken particles. Can I see your air fryer, what you put it in, please? It is the Ninja Max XL. This is what my air fryer looks like. It's just a basket, but I have the oven style one too. I prefer the oven style one just for baking, honestly, more so than air frying. What do you do if you don't have an air fryer? You can cook it in the pan. It would probably actually make the sauce taste better if you cooked your chicken in the pan first, actually. And then if you don't want to do that, you could bake it. I usually just double the baking time. So let's get this heating up. I have a lighter somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh, I see it. Okay. And I'm kind of in a hurry tonight because we are going to this like Christmas light show tonight, and it starts at 7, so we're probably gonna try and be out of here in like 25 minutes. All right, so first thing you do, heat up a pan. Are Ninjas good? So I have 2 Ninja air fryers, both of them great. Before the oven style one I had, we actually got another Ninja oven style air fryer as like a hand-me-down. That thing is like 10 years old, and it worked great. I just got a new one so I could make videos with like a nicer looking one. But so the Ninja air fryers are great, but the thing is, all air fryers get the job done. You know, it's just like, which one do you like looking at? That's kind of what makes me decide which one I get. All right, this pan is hot enough for the butter to start melting. So you put your butter in the pan, and let's add the rest of our ingredients. I want to buy one, don't know too much about them. Yeah, so depending on your budget, you could get the cheap one, and it'll do exactly what you want, which is air fry food. But if you have more money to spend, you could probably invest in like a Ninja, because I think they're just a little nicer looking. And with this butter, we're going to add some garlic. Chicken dipped in egg, then grated Parmesan with seasoning mixed in. Yes, that is what was on the chicken. Thank you for sharing. About a teaspoon of garlic. And we're gonna let this cook for like 1 or 2 minutes. I need a silicone spatula. And I gotta be careful with this hot plate because it will burn the butter very easily. So once the garlic becomes fragrant, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Oh, and here we go. This is what makes the sauce taste amazing. You put some ranch seasoning in it. You can hear Sophia, but she's actually upstairs. She's not down here with us. They are getting ready. So you put your ranch seasoning in with the butter and the garlic. And once we get this like stirred and combined, we're gonna start pouring in some chicken broth. This is about half a cup of chicken broth. And we can actually whisk that in. And it sounds weird right now, but it's gonna be super creamy when we're done, so just bear with me. Is the heat? Yes, the heat is still on. It was ranch powder, not liquid ranch. I added about 3 tablespoons of ranch seasoning. It smells really, really good. All right, and now all we're going to do, are you recording this so we can review? Yes, this will be reposted to my page as soon as I get off here. Does ranch seasoning have artificial ingredients in it? So the store-bought Hidden Valley ranch seasoning definitely has weird ingredients in it. But I don't know, like that stuff doesn't bother me. What bothers me is obesity and me being overweight and me being at risk of heart disease and like things that actually kill you. I'm not too concerned about a few weird ingredients in my ranch seasoning. But if you are, this recipe would be just as delicious if you used homemade ranch seasoning, which I have a recipe for too, super easy. But I do get it, you know, there is something that feels good about eating like just natural food, no weird ingredients. It is like a empowering way to live, but it's just that lifestyle is just a little complicated for me, because at a certain point it's like, what is left for me to eat? There's nothing left for me to eat except like grass-fed ribeyes and avocados. What do you think? Okay, so now what we're gonna do, after a couple minutes of whisking in the broth, we are going to slowly add in half a cup of heavy cream. And we're just whisking as we pour it in. And honestly, guys, this recipe was like totally off the top of my head today. I had plans to make a lemon chicken. It was a creamy lemon chicken recipe, and I had all these ingredients. I was even gonna put white wine in it, and I was like, man, this is just too confusing for me. I was referencing like 5 different recipes to try and make my own. And I was like, screw all of this lemon chicken. I'm just gonna mix like heavy cream in a pan with ranch seasoning and see how it tastes. I keep checking to make sure the flame is still on because these hot plates are weird. Like it's either high heat or the flow of gas on the low setting just isn't enough, so the flame goes out. So I keep checking to make sure it doesn't go out. And I made 2 versions of this today. One of them was this exact sauce recipe, but without broth. What do you mean, what the heck, now it's normal, Mandy? Oh, my voice sounded weird for a second? And we don't have to keep stirring. We can leave it alone and let it thicken. Oh, so for a second it sounded like I was in slow motion. I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe that was your connection, Mandy. While we wait, I need some seltzer. I'm thirsty. And I may turn the heat up a little more, just so this will start reducing. How did you get started with keto? So I was overweight most of my life, and then as I was like 18, 19, 20, I got to my heaviest weight, and I weighed 240 pounds. And for a while there, I just felt like hopeless. I felt like there was nothing I could do to lose weight, no diet I could stick to. Exercise felt like literally impossible to motivate myself to go do. And I was listening to a podcast, and it just talked in 2016, and it just talked about how low carb is like kind of a cheat code for weight loss, because instead of focusing on restriction and going to bed hungry and cutting your calories, you just focus on cutting out the carbs, and doing that will reduce your appetite enough to where you'll probably end up in a calorie deficit anyway, but without actively trying to limit your calories, because that's always what screwed me when I was like at my most unhealthy and heaviest weight. Was I was so terrified of the idea of feeling hungry that I needed some sort of diet where it gives you permission to eat until you feel full. And you know, a lot of diets like that work. Any diet where you just deliberately cut out a food group or junk food or something like that, and you just focus on eating the right stuff until you feel full, is less overwhelming for a lot of us who have like food addiction issues. So that started to work for me. Within 2 years, I went from 240 to 160. And then, you know, I started lifting weights. I started eating a little more because I was lifting weights, because I was working out. And now I'm around 175, which is like, I think, the weight that I like being at. And when we were pregnant with Sophia, and once she was a newborn, I did put on around 10 or 15 pounds. I got up to 190. But then I had been on keto for so long, you know, after doing keto for 7 years. Oh, so whenever I move my hand up, it shows the thumbs up gesture. I wasn't sure what that was. Okay. It's because my thumb, I need to be careful about doing that. I mean, I guess it isn't doing anything bad, but... And I also talk about my whole story, and I tell my weight loss journey and all of the tips that helped me, along with like all of the research I did and tons of that stuff, how to get off of keto. I talk about all of that in my book, Carefree Keto. Go to Amazon, type in Carefree Keto, you can get it there. It's usually on sale, so it should be like 20 bucks. Oh, your son works for Apple and he showed you that. Oh, interesting, Dee Dee. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on. I thought someone in the comments was doing it. And guys, you don't have to sit here and stir it. I don't know why I keep stirring it. When I made this earlier, I made a version of this earlier, and I just let it sit like this for a couple minutes. So no need to stir it for like 5 minutes. I got your book. Hey, thank you so much, Amy. Why did you gain weight when she was a newborn? So there is something that happens postpartum. Obviously, mothers gain weight during pregnancy and postpartum. It's just normal. But fathers, there's a hormonal shift where your prolactin increases, which is like the feeling of like being lazy and wanting to eat more. And so your hormones are kind of working against you when you have a newborn baby. I guess it does that, and then it like decreases your testosterone a little bit, so that you know, evolutionarily will stick around and take care of the baby. Or it works in the reverse, where taking care of the baby reduces your testosterone and increases prolactin. Something like that. And I'm not gonna excuse my weight gain on hormones, you know, I'm just gonna straight up say, I was cheating a lot too at that time. I would spend a whole weekend like, oh, we're going to Sonic, let me binge eat, you know. And then tracking my calories helped me get that under control. All right, so it has been 15 minutes in the air fryer. Let's check on the chicken real quick. You were saying something about being on keto for so long, but you didn't finish. Oh, so when I started my calorie counting journey, after the weight gain, you know, from pregnancy and having a newborn, it was much easier because I had spent 7 years doing keto. But had I tried to just start tracking calories at the beginning of my health journey, it wouldn't have worked. And I know because I tried and it didn't work. It's like, once you spend a long time living a healthy lifestyle, you can take other steps. So if keto feels like you're in a groove right now, where I found a lifestyle I can stick to, I'm getting healthier. Even if the way you're doing it helped you lose 50 pounds, but you wanted to lose 80, so maybe you still have 30 pounds to lose and you're plateaued, stay on track. Keep doing what you're doing for a while, and eventually, once you get the hang of it and it feels really simple to stay on track and like you don't feel tempted at restaurants anymore and all of that, then you can be like, all right, I think I'm ready to take it to another level. But if you just get so discouraged that, oh, I can't lose the last 30 pounds, why don't I give up? Then it's like, well, now you're gonna probably end up gaining back more weight than you lost in the first place and fall into that cycle. So always think of weight loss and getting healthy as like a very long-term thing. All right, this sauce I think is good to go. Don't think of weight loss as like, I'm gonna diet for 6 months or for 1 year to get to my goal, and then I'm gonna go back to eating like crap. Because if you start thinking like that, there's a good chance you might get to your goal, but studies show 95% of dieters gain everything they lost back. So in order to avoid becoming part of that 95%, you want to make this a lifestyle. You want to think about your long-term habits. You don't want to do it for the sake of like losing weight quickly and then going back to eating like crap. All right, so this has been air frying for 17 minutes and it looks so golden and like crispy. I'll show you it on a plate. I'm thinking this sauce is as thick as it was earlier. I might need to reduce a little more. I don't know, we'll see. Yo, this is what happens, guys, when you coat chicken in Parmesan. It looks like a piece of fried chicken. It's so crispy. I will say the bottom part doesn't get that crispy though, but the top and the sides, Alright, so what we're going to do now, because Anna wants me to give this to Sophia, we have to check the temperature. It is fully cooked. It's like 180. Nice. That's a little overcooked. So yeah, I did 18 minutes and it got a little overcooked. So seriously guys, like just 15 minutes if it's thin enough. Don't need this anymore. And now, this is the most exciting part. We're gonna pour the sauce on the chicken. Let's do it so you guys can. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh my goodness. I was worried the sauce wasn't thick enough, but that is literally perfect. All right, let's try this. Can you believe? What do you guys think? Would you eat this? Mandy, it's amazing. It's like a gravy. Oh my god. Oh no, I got some on my apron. Mandy, I took a picture earlier when I made this. I made a reel for this today. This might be like my favorite thing ever. I have to save my appetite for In-N-Out because we're going to I can't stop eating it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm starting to sweat because I'm like, It's just so good. I'm drinking the black raspberry LaCroix seltzer. Wow. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. That was amazing. I love you. I believe in you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, I won't be live tomorrow. It's Friday. We're gonna go do family stuff. So I'll be back on live Sunday, and then I'll be posting reels between them. So see you guys. Have a blessed weekend. Bye.